Chapter 4. The Fat Cat Sat. Here's the entry I wrote in my English journal on October 8th. I remember when I was 8 and my mom was about to give birth to Jeffrey. My grandfather gave me a big pep talk on the way to the hospital. Well, Muscles, yes, he really did call me that. This is your big day. My big day? Why was it my big day, Grandpa? Come on, Stephen. It's not every day you become a big brother, and you're going to be a very, very important from now on. This is startling news to me. Very important? Why? I'm not a mom. I'm not even a dad. I'm not even 9 yet. I still have baby teeth even. You're going to be very important because you're going to be your new baby's protector. Really? Yes, you are. Your baby isn't going to know all the things that you know or be strong like you are or anything. And you are going to be very important to this baby because you're not the mommy or the daddy. You're a big brother. And the baby is going to love you and need you so much. And for about 10 or 15 minutes there in the car, I felt great. I remember thinking, whoa, a protector. Not everybody gets to be a protector. I'm going to be like Robin Hood. I might even get to wear a badge. Then Grandpa nosed his huge Chevy Impala into the parking space in the hospital. By the time we got upstairs to the maternity ward, I saw the balloons, the flowers everywhere, and my 3 other grandparents crowded around an incubator crying and smiling like they just won the Powerball lotto. I was having second thoughts about this whole protector gig. Still, though, I have always protected Jeffrey. When he was 3 and fell on a stick in our driveway, I was the one who took him inside to get a Band-Aid and his boo-boo bunny. When his little best friend Alex tried to push him off the swing set last year, I got in trouble for pulling Alex down and screaming in his face until my mom dragged me away. Even when Jeffrey had a big asthma attack and had to be hospitalized overnight when he was 1, I stood right next to his bed and held his hand for what seemed like hours and hours until he fell asleep. Then in the middle of the night, he woke up scared. I crawled into his bed with him. Our parents found us that way in the morning. I haven't always liked being a protector, but I think I've done pretty seriously job. I've taken the job pretty seriously overall. So how come when I wasn't looking, Jeffy got cancer? The journal topic of the day I learned was discuss your favorite character in Huckleberry Finn. The thing I couldn't believe was how cancer turned this whole planet upside down in one day. I mean, it turns out Jeffrey had to have been sick for a while without us knowing it. When my mom got him to the emergency room, the nurse took his temperature. It was a little over 100. The nurse asked him how he felt, and he told that his parts had been hurting for a long time. Meanwhile, his nose just kept bleeding and bleeding. The regular ER doctor must have thought this looked a bit unusual, so he called in a pediatrician. My mom just told us that she couldn't believe what the pediatrician told Jeffrey to do next. Please walk over to the desk there and get me a tissue. My mom was thinking, my child is bleeding profusely and you want him to get you a tissue. But Jeffrey got right up and started walking toward the main desk of the ER. My mom said that she suddenly noticed that Jeffrey was limping. As she told us this, after Jeffrey was already upstairs in bed, she started to weep. How did I not notice this? Why did I need a doctor to show me? How long has he been limping? How long has my baby been limping around with a fever while I was too busy grading papers and making dinner to even look at my Jeffy? My dad, who wasn't looking too composed either, came over and put his arm around her. He didn't say anything, though, so I chimed in. Mom, we were all too busy to notice. It's not just you. He even told me this morning that he was cold and his parts hurt. And I just thought he was being Jeffrey being Jeffrey. I was bummed that he interrupted my practicing and asked me for breakfast. So my own brother, and all he wanted was some oatmeal. Now I was getting truthfully a bit weepy myself. See what I mean about cancer turning everything upside down? This pity festival went on for at least an hour, another hour, with each of us pretty much saying over and over that this was somehow our fault. Now, let's face it, I'm smart enough to know that logically, Jeffrey didn't get sick because I stole change from his piggy bank when he was 3 and bought Tic Tacs for my whole class with it. But for some reason, on that first horrible night, it seemed as though everything I did to Jeffrey had probably caused some horrible genetic damage. And now, there we were, confessing our sins. Finally, I asked my parents what was going to happen next. They told me that my mom would be taking Jeffy to Philadelphia, an hour and a half drive away in the morning, for some medical tests. So he might not even have cancer, right? If the experts are in Philly, these local doctors are probably wrong pretty often. And tomorrow night, you'll come back, right? And you'll tell us it was a mistake. My dad chimed in. Anything's possible, son. But my mom wasn't in the mood for optimism. We won't be coming back tomorrow night, Stephen. What do you mean you won't be coming back tomorrow night? What about Jeffrey's school? If he misses 2 days of kindergarten in a row, he'll probably miss like the whole letter of an alphabet. And if that's a vowel, then he'll probably have a huge problem with reading. He'll read the fat cat sat, but he'll think it says that. Very funny, Stephen. How about your work, Mom? Both my parents got really, really quiet all of a sudden. And I knew this was not a good sign. Finally, my dad spoke. My mom might not be working for a while. But what? But why? How did Stephen? We had a long talk with the principal today. There's a pretty good chance I'll be taking some time off from work. Wow, Mom, you were pretty busy today. She looked away. I guess because I was nervous, I started to recap the day's events out loud. So, okay, here's October 7th with the Alpert's family. Wake up as normal people do. Younger son gets nosebleed. Older son goes to school. Dad goes to work. Younger son goes to the emergency room. Younger son allegedly has cancer. Mom quits job. Mom and younger son get ready to skip town. Father and older son stand around like idiots and prepare to buy a huge supply of what? TV dinners? Please calm down, Stephen. We're all going to have to make a big adjustment. We're all going to have a big adjustment to make. Adjustment? Adjustment? Getting a new car is an adjustment. Switching math classes is an adjustment. Finding out your brother has leukemia, supposedly, and that your mom is now unemployed and that they're running off to a city in the morning, leaving you and your father to starve to death alone is not an adjustment. Stephen, this isn't about you. How do you think your brother feels right now? Then we had another one of these new despairing silences until I had to ask a question that somehow hadn't occurred to me. Mom, how much does Jeffrey know? It turned out that Jeffrey knew he might be pretty sick. Try cauterizing a kid's gushing nose with a heat gun without him figuring out that something is up. But didn't understand too much about the details. My mom hadn't wanted to worry him prematurely. When she told him that he would have to go with her to the big city in the morning to see a doctor, all he had asked was, will Stephen come too? This was the one piece of information that put me over the edge. I started crying. But when my mom started coming over to hug me, I ran upstairs to bed. If I had known that this would basically be the last time I'd have both parents paying attention to me, I probably would have taken the hug. I could hear my parents talking for a long, long time before I fell asleep, but nobody came up to check on me. Jeffy groaned in his sleep once or twice in the next room, but never woke up. I was alone. I counted the little glowing stars on my ceiling, revisited the argument with Annette, played drum beat on a huge imaginary drum set in my head, and then realized one last thing I hadn't thought about since I'd walked in the door after school and muttered to myself in the darkness, "Guess what, Mom? I'm going to be the star of my spring concert."